Hey everyone, today's project was inspired by Margaret at 7 Plaza, and her project was 12 by 12 paper cut into strips. And so from watching that, I thought, wow, I have some really large, tall paper. I have newspapers. This is kind of like a little newspaper like these. I don't know what kind of magazine this is, but it's at least 16 inches tall. Something like this. I have atlases that I got from the secondhand store, and those are probably 14 inches tall. These really large journal ledgers that I got. Ooh, that would put your eyes out, wouldn't it? But we could calm that down. From the secondhand store. And then I have this ornaments book. It's a garden ornaments book, which is beautiful. But I never really knew what to do with it because it is extremely tall. It's probably 16 inches, 15, 16 inches. So when I saw Margaret on creating these pockets, I thought, I'm going to go pull some of that really large paper and see what I can come up with. And I want to add that, I said that I got the inspiration from Margaret at 7th Plaza. So I'm going to link her channel below. I'll link that video below. She does all kinds of beautiful things. And I know that she's been under the weather, so thoughts and prayers go out to her. I hope she's doing well. And go check her out. This one is made from a 12 by 12 strip. This one's made from an atlas. And this one from that furniture book. And this is 2 pockets. I love this. This is that bubble paint on a library card. And this is the back of it. Now, the back of hers, I don't think she decorated them. And the reason I did mine was because I thought they would be more like floating ephemera. But this is 2 pockets. And you could not decorate the back and glue this to a page like this. And then you would have 3 pockets instead of the 2. You would have one back here, this pocket, and the one behind. Aren't these cool? This is a guest check, and I have ripped off the little bottom and made the tab out of it. I just thought that was so cute. I didn't even really decorate it, but my my guest check is so grungy from the tea dyeing that I didn't really think it needed it. And then I took also the piece that got cut off from the tab and made this little tag or tab, and also this tab. So none of it went to waste, even though I cut it. This is the 12 by 12. I did not decorate the back of this one because I figure I will glue it down so it will have 3 pockets. One on the side. But these are so easy. And then if I decide not to glue this down, I can always decorate the back later. But I thought I would make a couple of those with you today. I don't know that they really even need explained, but I want to make some more, and I thought I would do it on camera. So I have this piece of my atlas I still have left, so I'm going to use that. And then, of course, I have my scrapbook paper. And I pulled out orange and red because at the time I was working on fall, autumn things. So I thought I would see if I had any, and I don't have any pockets, so I thought I would see if there was anything. This will make a small one. I'm going to make one out of that. And this piece right here. Those are kind of skinny, but I like them, so I'm going to use those. And I think I'm going to use one of these tall newspapers too. I've had these for a really long time, and they are pretty. They're beautiful. These are like 1938. They're almost antique. So I think I'm going to pull a page from that. Is it stapled? Nope. Does seem like it's a little fragile, so that's okay. We can definitely make that more sturdy. Okay, so I have my newspaper, my scrapbook paper, and my atlas. And just so I can move the camera down, I'm going to go ahead and fold my newspaper in half. Well, not in half, in thirds actually. Trying to decide if I need to. I think I will. I'm going to go ahead and leave this piece to give it some more structure because it is a pretty fragile piece. Hold that where it's even. So here we've got our fold. I've done this one in thirds. This one, I'm just going to cut right down through there. And this one is scrapbook paper, so it doesn't need any backing. And then on the atlas, it is thin, but after I inked it and did all the things and I put the pieces in the pockets, it was, I mean, it's pretty sturdy. I don't think I need to back it. I did put some washi tape on the lip of the back pocket just so that it wouldn't tear, and on the front pocket I folded it over, which I'll show you here in a second, to give it a little bit more structure. But as far as all this, I mean, it's not brittle, so I didn't think I needed to back it. So here are the pieces we're going to work with. This would make a good tag, what's left from that 12 by 12. These are so simple, you're just going to be like, why are you even showing me this? Because I want to make some, and I think they're really cute. So this one is 12 by 12, I'm pretty, no it's not. It is 10 inches. So your pocket, you know, depending how tall your paper is, you want this pocket, you could fold it in half. I'll show you another way that might be easy to do it. I don't measure. There's the pocket. How easy was that? So I'm going to cut a notch hole out in the front. And I'm also going to do the side because I like that paper and I probably won't glue anything down. I'll probably leave it just as a piece of floating ephemera. So there is that. Okay, so I'm pretty sure this one is 12. It is. So one way you could do it is you could fold it like this to see, and then knowing whatever is sticking out is going to be your front pocket. That kind of gives you an idea of how deep your pocket's going to be. But I just kind of eyeball it. I don't think I want this to be like that. And I want the front. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to fold it about there. And I like a lot of back showing, but you could make these flush. And matter of fact, I think Margaret did on some of hers. She didn't have this much poking out the top. She made hers closer than I'm doing mine. So there is another pocket, and evidently I don't have an even strip, so I'm going to trim off the edge of this one. Not a big deal. Flip it over. So easy to even it up, all my mistakes. Now we have a mess. Look at that. What happened there? I must have cut it. Wow. I love when I get on camera and show you what a fool I am. Okay, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to use it. Well, I guess I'm showing you, if you don't have a really long piece, how to make a really long piece, because this could come from something else. If you only had this long of a strip, fold it in half and make a pocket. What a fool. Okay. And I've got my wrong ink. That's okay, we'll stick with black. Really making a mess out of this. Just starting and already gommed it up. I bet this would drive Laura crazy. I drive myself crazy, Laura, so I know it would drive you crazy. Now I'm just going to glue this on the front. Just like that. Isn't that a shame? You know, I could glue it up a little bit. That would leave a pretty color underneath. I'm going to do that. This isn't the tutorial, and this isn't how it's supposed to work. This is how you fix it if you mess up like I did. Basically, I don't think this is a tutorial anyway. There's people done this so many times, and I think she even said somebody she saw it from. I'm not really sure. I think I'm basically just crafting in front of the camera today. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and glue down the two sides of this one. I only have to do 2 on that back piece. That way it leaves all of this open vertical wise so that you have a nice long pocket. On this one, I think, isn't that pretty paper? Because no matter how I fold it, something's going to be upside down. So I think I'm going to do it. See how long I want this. Kind of do this little S shape to determine how I want it. I bet Ian's thinking if you were more precise and would measure, you wouldn't have had that first mishap. Probably true. I would say that's true. There's my second one. I'm going to clip a notch hole out in this one too. Very pretty paper. Might keep that circle and make a tab out of that. So I'm going to just glue this flap inside because I triple folded this one. I'm going to use a little glue stick. If I didn't want to glue this shut, that could be a pocket too if I just glued it on this side, but I really think that is a little too thin, so I'm going to glue this together too. All right. So while that one's drying, let's go on and glue some of these other ones. So this is the little shorty. I'm going to glue him. This is the front piece that I forgot to ink. I'll at least ink my little... Well, I wish I would use some vintage photo, which is what I'm trying to use, and picked up the wrong inker. I kind of like the look of both of them together, so I'm going to mix them. I like that, the way it gives a darker look, so I'll stick with that. So now I'm really going to glue this down. This is the front piece, so I'm just gluing the two sides. And the back, we only have to do the bottom and the side. Like I said, I like that dark ink mixed with the vintage photo. This is black. I like the look it gave, so I'm going to do it and make my mistake the whole entire thing. There's another one. So we've got 3 so far, and I think before I glue this Atlas one, I'm going to do my smudging and inking on this. And I found out yesterday when I was doing the other one, I liked the Distress inks best that were liquid form seemed like they moved better. But I think before I do that, I'm just going to stamp some random script. I think I'm going to put a little bit inside because I noticed on my other one I had folded it and glued it and stuff first, and it kind of bugged me that you could see a little bit that there was nothing on the inside, which I wouldn't waste time with the whole thing, just where it's, you know, going to open up. And this isn't necessary at all, really. This is my back, so I'm going to for sure stamp it. I think I'll also do some, well, I might do that after. And I am going to fold over this front pocket to give it a little bit of structure because it's a little flimsy. And then on the side, I think before we're done, I'm going to put a piece of washi tape or something right there to strengthen that up. I think I'm just going to take one of these. This was one of the plates that you put through like a Sizzix. I think I'm going to use it to mix my colors on. Do some smushing. So I'm just using vintage photo here, spraying it on, not using water, and smushing it down just in random spots. I also liked putting it on here and then doing some dry brushing. I need to go to the Dollar Tree and get some of those cheap, really stiff brushes because I like to use those when I'm doing it this way. I think it gives good texture. I can also wet my brush a little bit with water and it'll bring out some more color. Then I have some rusty hinge here too. I'm just gonna use a little bit of that, I think. Just kind of going along my edges and that. I like the way that looks. Maybe do some splattering on the back here and then kind of move it around a little bit. And I'm not recommending any of this process that I'm doing. I'm just trying different things. I love to play with the mixed media stuff, so that's just kind of what I'm doing, I guess. All right, so that piece is done. Well, I mean, as far as the painting, we of course have to do some stamping. You know how I am, got to do my stamping. I'm wondering if I should smush this a little bit, put some color. I mean, it has such beautiful color. You know, I also have some old paper and antique linen. I was told that these are, you know, good colors to use on old paper. Haven't tried it, so maybe we could do that. Smush that down and spray it a little bit. Not a lot of water. Not really showing up, is it? Doesn't really do anything. It does give it a little bit of dimension. You can kind of see the first one, which was the old paper. You can see it. And then I guess that antique linen kind of gives it a, I mean, you can tell a little bit. Nothing drastic. I mean, it's okay. I'm going to use some vintage photo. Actually, I want to use some more. I want it to have more. I know it has a beautiful color from the aged paper, but I don't know. I'm feeling I want more color in this. So I'm gonna use some more of the gathered twig. I'm gonna try really hard not to overdo it. I tend to overdo everything. Okay, that's all I'm gonna do to it. I'm gonna quit messing with it. Maybe. Wipe that. Well, wait. Okay, really, that's all I'm gonna do. I think that's so pretty. So on these two, while my other ones are drying, and I may end up having to just run a blast the heat gun over it real quick. I forgot to cut out circles for this one. I don't know why I'm doing it other than I just like it. I'm probably not going to do it on the back because I like that edge. So I'm not going to do a hole punch back there. Okay, so I'm going to let those dry just for a second while I'm doing these two. And I think these could be something, you know, everything I do is really simple. I like being able to just do silly, you know, stamps. Here I have, you know how I'm crazy about my stamps. I have these two laying right here, so I'm going to use those. Also stickers. I like using stickers. Things that give it a lot of look with just a little bit. Isn't that pretty? I don't know why I really like that, but I do. Cool thing on the back of this one. Ooh, I like that. Isn't that cool? I just think that makes the neatest. And this could be a pocket this way. And then, well, not really. Because I already made the pocket on this side. Very easy. Just a little bit of stamping. May have to put a little bit of grungy something on this one. I do some testing with some tea-dyed doily, arrange different things, and then finally decide that I'm going to add it onto whatever I put in the pocket. I think on this one, I'm going to do something even simpler, if that's possible. Found another stamp. This one's a bird. I may have to use this. Bit of this script. And I'm going to just do a rub-on there. Any cute little scarecrow man. Needs a number right there, doesn't it? Shouldn't have put two numbers like that, but I did. I think I'll use one of these little printed words. That will make a nice little autumn pocket, won't it? Be a real small one. Be cute. And a pocket on the back. I'm going to give these a quick dry. They're still not dry. I think I'm going to put a little bit of script on this one. Maybe in vintage photo instead of black. And I really like just the normal wording on this one. You know, the print of this old paper. I know you're thinking, well, you're covering most of it up. I know. So pretty. I just went over that before I glue it down because I don't like that little white spot where the finger notch is at. I think it looked out of place. To do much inking on this one because this is the one I dipped in the distress ink kind of around the edges. So it gave it a really, really pretty look. And again, I'm not going to do much with this one. It kind of speaks for itself. I like all the things. Maybe when I get ready to use it in a journal, I'll do a little bit more with it. But I'm going to go ahead and glue this one down. That. And then on the back, I might have to just put a little number there. Just missing a number. And then I think it's going to look, it would look cool here on the back. I don't know if this is a date. Yeah, this is a date. So I'm going to just do a little date right here. And that signature was already on the newspaper, so it kind of floats in together. Just got to put like one more little thing. I try really hard not to do a lot of stamping, and it just, oh, I just can't help myself. Okay. And like I say, I can always add more to this when I actually get ready to use it in a journal. I'm going to see if the guest check will fit in this one. Ooh, it will. I want to make another one of those. So how I did, look how grungy it is. Isn't that cool? So I just tore off this piece. I don't know if that's wide enough. This one's a little bit too small. I could always take a sliver off the side though, right? Library card would have probably been better. And then I'm going to take this piece and do a Ooh, I love that grungy. Look at that. Do a tab. I have a cheap knockoff whale tail punch, so that's what I used. It's not a memory keeper, so it's not as big as the memory keeper. Well, you can see the size I have. I think a memory keeper is really about this large. Mine's about this size. I like to use this on the side, so I probably won't end up putting that in front. I may use it in the back of something different. Let's see, maybe they'll fit in this one. Yeah, this would be a good one. This will be a good one for our atlas. So I'm going to save that. I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. But I was going to show you, after I cut my whale tail, what I did with those pieces. And I'm going to put an eyelet here. I meant to do that on the other one. But I'm going to put an eyelet on this one. And that's going to be the card for our atlas piece. And because it's already tea-dyed and grungy, I'm not going to do anything else to it. It just looks so pretty, just like that. So that piece is done. And the piece of after I cut out my whale tail, I have this left. And of course, I couldn't let all that grungy goodness go to waste. So I did it. I just cut those little Sharpie points off and stamped it with the number. Another thing that I did on one of them I just rounded it with my scissors, just kind of halved it and then rounded the corner like that. And then there's your tab. And then on the other one was I took a little circle punch and kind of just put the corner there. Give it a little shoulder. I just kind of evened it up, which on this one it looks pretty good, so I'm not going to change anything about this one. And I think that makes a kind of a neat grungy tab. Stamp a little number on it, of course, got to do that. And I think that's like a really cute little tab. Just using these because they're the numbers I had out, but I think those will be two good tabs right there. Have some tea-dyed library cards. So I think that's what I'm going to put in the front of this one. I think I'm just going to staple on with a rusty staple a piece of this dyed. I think this one's copy dyed because I don't think I did this one. Just with the rusty staple. I'm going to, of course, stamp here. I have to. That's just a stamp that looks like the ins and outs on a library card. Just have some colored pencils here, and I'm going to color in this stamp. You know, a lot of times on the ends of old books or whatever, they have kind of colored pages. So as you can see, I just keep coloring and blending colors till I get something I like. And if I don't like it, I end up erasing it. So there's our front piece. And I'm just going to leave the back for writing. But I think that makes a kind of a pretty front part to this newspaper. And then I will put something back here when I get ready to put this in a journal. I'm going to go ahead and glue this one up. have a lot of these tea-dyed paint samples. And again, I did not take these from the sample store. I bought them in a big thick pack from secondhand shop. I'll probably do something like that. And I think on this back, before I glue it, I'm going to line it with some washi tape. Just picking something that looks kind of, in case it is seen, it won't be totally off. Normally on washi tape, I will run it across a glue stick where it's sure to stay. But this one's pretty sticky, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. So now I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. I like that so much. I think this needs something right there, doesn't it? It needs stamp. Everything needs a stamp. I think stamps are like, you know, everyone says, well, I say, everything's better with bacon. I think the stamps are my bacon. There. That made me feel all kinds of better, except my bird don't have a beak. There. That makes me feel better. Okay. But the more I do, the more I want to put there. So, look, now I need a number. There. Okay, leave it alone. Just step away. Leave it alone. I'm going to go ahead and put some eye holes on these. And I hope you like them. Hope you didn't think, well, that was a bunch of nonsense and I've been doing that. Figured that one out on my own. I know this was really easy. I just like using the different styles of book page. I hope you like these. Use those extra large book pages or magazines or whatever you have and make some really cool pockets. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time. Bye.